My thumbnail's gonna hate me for it, but I didn't feel like drying my hair today. Hey there and welcome to my channel. This is Foggy Fiction and I am Haley. I'm a writer living with mental illness, doing my best to show that mental health does not dictate talent or worth, and hoping to encourage others to chase their dreams. If you're new to my channel, I try to post 1 to 2 videos a week, usually about things related to writing, reading, and mental health, but sometimes I get off topic and that's okay too. And if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love if you'd hit that button and join me on this journey. In today's video, I am doing the salty writer tag. This idea came from Julian Greystoke and I will link the original video in the cards. I highly recommend that you check out their channel and watch that original video while you're at it. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and get to it? The first question is, what is your least favorite well-intentioned comment you hear from people? It is less a comment and more a reaction for me. When people first find out that I've written 2 books, they always get super excited and ask, "Oh really? Like, what have you written? What's the title? Where can I find it? How can I buy your stuff?" And then I, of course, have to say that I'm not actually published yet, which almost always leads to that person, like, immediately losing interest and doing the cool story nod. And I just, like, part of me understands, but most of me just doesn't get it. Like when you ask someone what's for dinner and you find out it's not ready yet, you don't immediately lose interest and excitement, do you? I mean, I don't, but I'm also food motivated, so I don't know. Number 2. What is a favorite scene that you had to scrap? There was a scene at the beginning of MH that had Elle and Lila jumping on Elle's bed while they read their college acceptance letters. And then Elle's mom leans against the doorway and makes a joke about them having to add buying a new bed to their college expenses if they break it. Out of context, like, it sounds pretty lame, but I have a soft spot in my heart for that scene, and it is no longer there. Number 3. What's a bad writer habit you haven't been able to shake? Procrastinating. And I know that for me that's mostly due to my mental health, but I also know it's typical for most writers anyway, so, you know, we're counting it. Also, I underwrite and revise as I go, so there's those 2. Number 4. What's the worst thing a reviewer could say to you? Probably that I should give up and just stop. You know, which I'm sure is gonna happen, and I'm gonna laugh now because it'll make me think of this video, but yeah, that would suck. Number 5. What is your least favorite part of the writing publishing progress? Right now, revising. Like, getting myself to work through these revisions has been difficult lately. But I'm sure that querying is gonna suck more, so, you know, I'll take my revision process over that right now. Number 6. If you're trad pubbed or trying to be, how many rejections have you gotten? None yet. I have not started querying any of my work yet, but I'm planning to rack up as many rejections as I can. Which basically just means that I am well aware that it is extremely difficult to get traditionally published for most writers, and even very well established authors started out with a handful of rejections. Unless they're a unicorn. And I'm pretty sure I'm more likely some kind of like gremlin than a unicorn, so bring on those rejections. Number 7. What is a scene that you hated writing? There is a first kiss scene in one of my stories that was just not fun. I kept second guessing myself through every part of it. My alpha reader was reading it like as I was writing it as opposed to after I was done. Like, I kept sending it to her and it was just, I was not having fun with it. She loved it. She thought it was great. I second guessed myself the whole time, more so than I normally do in any of my writing, so that scene was not fun. I do think it turned out okay, but I'm still revising, so we'll see how I feel when I go back to it again. Number 8. What is your biggest writing weakness? Second guessing myself. Over criticizing myself. Just being my own worst enemy in general. Like, thank goodness I have that alpha reader to knock the sense back into me because, yeah, I need that. Number 9. Share a frustrating critique moment. Sending my manuscript to a handful of beta readers and getting feedback from, like, maybe 3 of them. And more so than that, the ones who didn't follow directions. Google Docs has a very simple comment feature and it is spectacular. My beta form even had the question, are you familiar with Google Docs and its comment feature? And I also brought it up again when reaching out to them. Yet somehow there were a few who chose to do things different. And if any of you are watching this, whether you're someone who didn't follow directions or didn't read the manuscript at all, please know that I still love you and I'm sorry for calling you out. And number 10, what is something that can ruin a writing session? Knowing that I have to go to work later. And that's not me saying that I wish that I was a full-time writer or that I hate my job or anything like that. I love my job and I plan to keep it even after I get published. But I worry that I'll be using up spoons that I'll need later if I try to start writing before I have to go to work. Or that I'll get into a groove and be really doing some good writing and then realize that I have to stop in the middle of it and get ready and go to work. and then have to work with my mind in a different world. Am I the only one like this? Anyway, that is the list. Do any of your answers match up with mine? Let me know. And don't forget to head over to Jillian's channel to check out... I cannot speak. To check out the original tag video and all of the other great content that you'll find there. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And more than that, enjoy the happy moments.